All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is your new favorite program, the Attack the Rack Daily Lineup Show. We come to you every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m., talking about the latest in sports. Once again, joining by Trent and Big Mo. We did just witness the U.S. women's basketball team defeating Belgium. We will get to that a little bit later in the program, but let's start with finally, NFL is back. Kinda. First preseason game tonight, boys. The NFL Hall of Fame game. The Bears versus the Titans. It's not the Titans, the Texans tonight. Chicago Bears, Houston Texans, both featuring young quarterbacks who, oh, by the way, we will not see tonight, of course. But it does allow us to maybe start talking about this stuff a little bit. Let's start with, well, first of all, let's start with the a quarterback who's already been established, at least for one season. Houston Texans quarterback CJ Stroud. I'm pretty familiar with him as I drafted him late in the fantasy football draft last season, and he ended up being one of my
Great
players. Phenomenal rookie season.
Yeah.
Trent, what do you think? Can he repeat that? Can he get better? Will we see what the cliche, the sophomore slump? What do you think?
Oh, I think he continues what he kind of left off. And they added Stephon Diggs, I believe,
Right.
too. So I think that's only going to help
Correct.
add another weapon. So their offense is going to be pretty tough to stop. Hopefully he can keep it together. The preseason game will be interesting since I saw something where there's not a single starter on both sides that are playing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a battle of the guys trying to earn a third string spot.
Right. And I get excited every year for the first preseason game or for all the start of the preseason. And then when push comes to shove, I usually, don't even end up really watching much. It would be nice to see CJ Stroud play a little bit. Big Mo, what do you think about CJ Stroud? Obviously, phenomenal rookie season. Can he do it again, or will we see a sophomore slump?
I'm going sophomore slump.
Okay, all right.
I think it was a little unexpected. Obviously, he had a lot of success last year. Maybe more towards the end of the year, he really came on, right?
All season long.
All season long. Okay, yeah. All right. I'm more interested to see. I think Justin Fields is going to get his due. I think. I think he was relied upon too much in Chicago, and I think if you put him with the Steelers defense, like he doesn't have to do quite as much, so he's not going to turn the ball over as much, and that's going to lead to a really successful season for the Steelers.
Wow. Well, one thing he didn't really have was much of an offensive line, so he was running for his life for his first two seasons there with the Bears. Now, have they announced him though? Is he going to be the starter?
Oh, I don't even think he's the starter yet.
Okay.
They didn't name it yet.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting battle for Russell Wilson and Justin Fields because they're kind of similar in a way.
Yeah.
They kind of do the same stuff.
Yeah. Except for
go ahead, Big Mo.
The age, maybe the age and the same type of quarterback, but maybe a little bit on the way out. Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I think we could see a rejuvenated Russell Wilson. I really do. I think not like what he was in the prime of his career or anything, and really, his first year in Denver, he was pretty bad. Last year he had an okay season. He was fine last year.
Yeah, he kind of got left behind in Denver. You just don't see a ton of Broncos on the TV, so he kind of just gets looked over a little bit. But it'll be an interesting battle for Mr. Unlimited.
Okay, so back to Justin Fields' former team, the Chicago Bears. Obviously, they got rid of him. They drafted with the number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams out of USC, who 2 seasons ago was the Heisman Trophy winner. Okay, senior year, opted out of the bowl game. Didn't really play against anybody great. What do we think Caleb Williams, Trent? Do you think
Mm,
I mean more of the I mean
hard.
the
It's
one
hard
thing
to
I
tell.
have no idea. One thing that he will need is a better offensive line than we saw with Justin Fields. I don't know if they upgraded their offensive line or not, but
Yeah, they need to get some protection for sure. But it's also interesting to be like, oh, we're just going to get rid of Justin Fields because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to. But if you don't update the offensive line, then it doesn't really matter who you have
right.
getting the ball, as long as like you need some protection. I think he'll be okay. He's an interesting guy, at least kind of from what I've seen. Um, he didn't. He was really good in college, but he also didn't really win a bunch of big games. He would throw for 400 yards. Maybe it was just because the defense wasn't great,
Yeah.
and USC's defense wasn't that good. But I think he can sling it, which is good for the NFL. It would just be interesting to like the other stuff that makes you a good NFL quarterback,
Yeah.
like the film study, um, just the scouts, that kind of thing. All the stuff that Kyler Murray wasn't doing when he first got into the league.
Yeah.
So I think if he can do some of that, then he'll be fine.
Yeah. Interesting too. Like I said, he opted out the bowl game, and then his backup threw for like 6 touchdowns
Yeah.
bowl game. So
Yeah.
then you start to wonder, well, was some of his success that he had more? I mean, obviously he had some success or some success at what was it? Where was he at before that? Oklahoma. Um, he had some success there too when he came in for Spencer Rattler. So,
Oh, yeah.
but then you see the backup throw for 6 touchdowns in the bowl game, and then you're like, was some of his stats more based on system? We'll see. Big Mo, what do you think? We'll see out of Caleb Williams in his rookie year here.
I think you're going to see a rookie quarterback who's going to struggle. Like I know the Bears have made some upgrades
Yeah.
positionally here and there. Again, I think like Justin Fields, like again, I'm not sure. Like again, I think he's going to fit in well with the Steelers, and I think he kind of carried the brunt of the Bears on his back.
Yep.
I think they're going to miss him more than he misses them.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be I think it's going to be a tough year for Caleb. I mean, you're a rookie QB. You're playing in a good league. Um, you know, who knows how Caleb Williams ends up, but I think he's going to struggle. I think it's a rookie QB. I mean,
Yeah.
how many CJ Strouds have we seen where they've had like a phenomenal first year?
Yeah. And when did that change start happening of like rookies coming in and instantly playing? Because they usually didn't. They would usually sit for a few years and then kind of earn their stripes a little bit and then get their call. But now it's like they're drafting them to play right away. And then you get these guys who their rookie contract's up and then you just get rid of them. And it's just hard because they're not fully developed. And the NFL is completely different than college. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. You're expecting these 18 and 19-year-olds to come straight out of college and be super effective in the NFL, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the other positions you can kind of fill in if you're good enough, but
And they're not really testing him, right? The backup QB and the third guy are like kind of noise. I mean,
I don't know who else they have.
yeah.
Oh,
but I know they added Keenan Allen, which is a good one. I know he's kind of on the back end of his career, but he still produces really good numbers. And then I believe DJ Moore just signed his extension, so he'll be back as well. So at least they have some pieces. I just hope they added to the offensive line. Yeah. Well, being a Lions fan, I guess I hope they didn't. But
that's the thing too. Is I mean, think about the Packers are good, the Lions are good, the Vikings. I think it's kind of we're a little bit unsure of with the loss of Kirk Cousins and having a rookie quarterback themselves. But I mean, it's not a. Would you 4 of your 25% of your games are against the Bears or the Lions and the Packers. So
yeah, I would say that division comes down to Packers Lions. Jordan Love's a stud.
Yeah,
he's really good.
And again, Jordan Love, someone who sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple years. I mean, the
Right.
CJ Stroud coming in right away and being a superstar, that's a complete anomaly.
Yeah.
Those guys, yeah, like you said, Trent, the formula for success seems to have been, Patrick Mahomes did it. You sat on the bench for a year or two before
Yeah.
you became the starter. So
I feel like the Packers were kind of like the founding fathers of that type of system because it was Brett Favre, Rodgers sat, Rodgers got his time, and Love sat. So now it's Love's turn. So I think kind of where you get it from a little bit. At least that's like what I think about when I think of quarterbacks just kind of waiting their turn.
right.
But it's tough. I guess you just give them that rookie contract, see if they can produce, and if you don't like what you see, then you just kind of get rid of them. But like for Fields, he's like what 25,
5, yeah.
so I feel like he's still kind of in his prime of his career where he could really do some good things. And I kind of like him at the Steelers as well. I think he'll do well with Tomlin, and he's athletic. I believe Najee Harris is still there, so that'll help. I'm not sure on their receiving core. Pickens they drafted a couple years ago, but I don't know. Oh, they had Chase Claypool who was ruining
Yeah.
teams, but I don't know if they got rid of him or not.
I
They
think
might have.
I thought they did last year, didn't they?
Like the middle of the year maybe.
Yeah. Can't remember.
I forgot where he went though.
But there is a pretty nice culture that the Steelers have that probably overall
Yeah.
helps. Um, yeah,
They could,
I wonder if the Bears really just kind of gave up on Chase Fields a little bit too soon, didn't have enough. Didn't I mean he wasn't very good, but again, he didn't have weapons to throw to. He didn't have um, a good offensive line behind him. Um,
he would just run for his life.
Yeah, it's
Like
almost like you almost don't. It's almost like I felt like they didn't have enough data yet on him to make such an extreme decision to get rid of him.
yeah.
Where what if you keep him and you use that number one pick to draft, a superstar offensive lineman, or or use it for a different spot on your team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Andy, look how the Lions did it. They drafted a position player and a lineman, and they kind of built up that offensive line, and now they're one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, maybe not the best. And then you draft the position players around them in the following years and trade for a quarterback or try to draft a quarterback in the future, which we'll probably have to do in the next 3 years, I would say, as a Lions fan, would have to get a quarterback pretty soon. But I feel like you have to, for Fields to just run around forever. Like he destroyed the Lions with his legs.
Yeah, you did.
And that was just because we would break down the offensive line and he would just run forever. And I feel like that's kind of how that's like what you saw when you looked at Justin Fields play was him just scrambling around. But it's like, you'd rather him just sit in the pocket and get laid out.
Yeah.
So I guess it's hard to say. Give him some protection and then really see what he can do.
Yep. Okay, so as we mentioned, obviously preseason game tonight. There's something the NFL is going to be trying in some of these preseason games just to test it out. If it's successful, I don't. It sounds like it won't go into effect until next season. But this is the Sonny's Hawkeye technology. Have you guys heard of this terminology?
I've not.
So the Sonny's Hawkeye technology, what it is it's a way to determine first down instantly. So every time there's a first down, the official will be either something they'll have like something that'll vibrate or a beep or some sort of sound, or someone in their headset immediately telling them there's the first down to eliminate on the close ones where they got to bring the chain gang out, obviously in an effort to eliminate that part of the game to speed things up.
So are they still going to have those? Are they still have to have the chain gang guys, right? But it's just like the short first downs. They still have to have those guys out there, right?
Well, Yeah, they do, but they won't have to come. They'll have that. Well, I don't. That I can't. I don't know 100%. Obviously, they're going to have something that's marking where the first down is and where the line of scrimmage is.
Yeah.
Whether that's humans um or some, But yeah, they'll
Some
still
type
have.
of robots.
Yeah. But what they won't have is the chain gang coming out of the field to do the measurements anymore.
I kind of like that. Very suspenseful. Like the close fourth downs and the measurements, and
Yeah, I
you
know.
would think they would do something on like the actual spot, because those are always such a toss up of like, oh, where did he
Yeah.
actually go down and where the ball was.
Yeah,
So,
there's, obviously technology can make things more accurate, but I kind of still like the human element.
I was gonna say there's a huge. I mean, that's I think even in the NBA, you've lost a little bit of that human element, which is probably good. But in the essence of when you're watching it and the excitement and the unknown,
Yeah,
uh, that was always a fun part of it.
right.
yeah, I feel like the sport you can get rid of the human element is baseball. They have the K zone on TV, and there's
Well, that's
a
one
lot
thing
of umpires this year that are
they've
just
they've,
not good.
they've tried it out in minor leagues where if a batter doesn't agree with the call, they just like tap their hat and instantly the umpire is notified if he made the right call or wrong call, and he can instantly change the call.
I
So
I think they need more of that, because maybe it's just a few that I've seen on Twitter or whatever, but there's a guy that there was like 16 missed calls within one game for him, and it was just like
Angel Hernandez probably.
probably, yeah, just those guys that hose everybody out there. I don't know how that's you keep your job and you're that bad. You gotta. Who was the umpire's name that screwed up the Tigers no hitter?
Yeah, I will tell you right now. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Was
Armando
it
Galarraga.
Galarraga was the pitcher, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
What was that dude's name? Yeah, because that was it perfect game or just no hitter?
perfect game.
Yeah.
Jim Joyce.
Oh,
Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce.
And I've
Yeah.
seen other videos of him making other huge errors in other games too.
See, like that kind of call needs to be fixed. They
Uh,
got to find a way to not miss that, because baseball's so bang bang with everything where it's got to be a right call.
yeah, I mean, I will say, as a former chain gang person, I do feel for the chain gang, and I feel like that's kind of their time to shine. And I
Mm-hmm.
support the chain gang um, as someone who has done some chain ganging in the past for middle school football and high school football. Um, Big Mo, what do you think about this technology?
Yeah, I guess you find ways to try to make small improvements. Again, I like the human element. I think there's nothing like a fourth down where they really didn't get it, but they come out there and it's the tip of the football is just beyond the chain, and then the crowd goes wild.
Yep.
You
So
get all the guys crowding around it.
yeah, and they're trying to push people back, and
Yeah.
like if you took that out of the game, I don't know if if some of that would be missed. I think it would, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crowd
like
is dead silent.
yeah. It's like, and you're waiting for that official to go first down.
Yeah.
It's like that emotion part of the game, though. I feel like that's an emotional
Yeah.
part of football is those measurements, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird one to kind of get rid of.
Yeah. Again, you're trying to make the game better. Are you? I don't know. I guess time will tell.
I think it's more of they're just trying to speed things up.
That's fair.
It takes less time.
Yeah.
You know what would speed up games? Less commercials.
Well, they got bills to pay.
No, they make enough money. They don't.
Hey, less commercials and no kickoffs.
Yeah.
You could watch 3 games on a Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More the better.
Yep. Well, guys, as we mentioned in the opening of the show, we just got done watching the USA women's basketball team in the 2024 Paris Olympics. Today they played Belgium, ended up with a 13-point victory, only scoring 87 total points, 3 of which came on a deep 3 with about 3 seconds left in the game. So more or less, it was almost more like a 10-point victory, which kind of it hung around 10 points most of the game. My opinion, kind of a snoozer, kind of uninspiring. If I wasn't working on some things during the game, I probably would have nodded off a little bit. Trent, we were talking about the game before, or the game before we got on here. Sounds like you were kind of in the same boat.
I did fall asleep.
You did fall asleep, yeah.
Yeah. It was like almost at the end of the third. Yeah. Woke up, game was over.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and it was on what sport was that? It
Doubles
was
tennis, wasn't it?
huh?
Was it doubles tennis on after that?
No, it went to
Badminton?
God, I think it went to singles badminton.
Oh, okay, yeah. The
So I was
fastest
watching that
racket
for a little
sport
bit.
in the world.
Yeah. But it looks like the Team USA is missing a 3-point shooter. I wonder if they could have fixed that issue
Yeah.
originally.
They also look like they're missing someone that can play at a fast pace and
Yeah.
fly up and
Yeah.
down and hit rim runners in transition.
Yeah, they wait around for their bigs to get down the floor, and then they throw it in the post, and it's just all right. It's either Breanna Stewart or Asia Wilson that goes and scores.
Yeah.
I feel like they're missing that extra piece.
Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart combined for 49 out of 87 points, so well over half the points.
Yeah, they're 5 of 14 from 3, which isn't awful, but
better than their 4 for 20 in game 1.
Yeah.
Big Mo,
Yeah.
what'd you think of the crowd tonight or this afternoon?
Well, truthfully, I only got to watch the first quarter. Then I had an appointment I had to get to, so I might watch the second quarter after this. You know what? This is my take. Maybe the world is catching up a little bit. Not as much as right now on the men's side, but I thought like there was a little bit of like fire from Belgium, like, hey, we can beat these guys.
They didn't seem intimidated.
We're not going to back down at all. And I still think the USA team is far superior, but I think probably more so like the first quarter I thought was kind of thrilling, mainly because Belgium kind of kept like making shots, making it tough, kind of played a little more physical, and I think that kind of plays into maybe it didn't look like the USA team was quite maybe into it as much because like they're gonna get everybody's best shot. And they are missing some pieces, I think, like to make it easier. Now they still may win every game by 15 or 20, but
yeah.
So it looked like there was a nice crowd there. It looked like it was a Belgium type crowd.
Yes,
very much so.
It'll be interesting to see the numbers, see if they drew or the numbers kind of balanced out compared to that first game against who they played, Japan or China?
Yeah, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Belgium's crowd was awesome, and they definitely seemed like they outnumbered the U.S. fans 10-1 in that arena. Don't know how many people were at the game, but it was definitely quite a Belgium crowd. So,
and Belgium had some size too, which I thought would give them a little bit of issues. At least make them work a little bit harder. Brianna Stewart's really good, actually.
Yeah. I didn't think those first two like little pull-up jumpers she hit, like in the face.
But then I think you can't remember if it was third or fourth quarter or second half. Then she also shot this horrible air ball that was like probably 5 feet left of the rim.
Oh.
She got fouled, Kurt. She got fouled.
But yeah, no, I was impressed with Belgium. I thought they were kind of fun to watch, at least at least right off the jump there. They definitely were not intimidated by the U.S.
No, and I think the first quarter again. I only watched the first quarter. I thought Belgium's like movement on offense was like a lot of back doors. There's not a lot of standing still, kind of atypical pro basketball. There's just a lot of free flowing movement, like trying to make the USA team guard them, which I think can be, maybe trying to exploit their weakness that they're not young, athletic
Yeah.
players. So really
Yeah,
trying to guard. So
it was a lot of like 1-4 high, like horns looks, and they would kind of just like loop into some back screens and curl some stuff. And yeah, it was pretty effective for a while. They were just getting layups, slipping
yeah,
screens, and curling some of these cuts. And yeah, they looked pretty good for a while. The point guard was pretty aggressive all game. The Venlo or Venlu,
did you
but
see? I was going to say she shot the
see the runner
she shot
Yeah.
the big Mo runner 1-footer.
Yes.
after that was
Heat
her heat
check.
check. She hit one, and then it was like runner from the top of the key.
Oh yeah, heat check. Heat
And
check.
Yeah.
it almost hit it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was 1 of 11 from 3.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah,
Was she
I thought she hit back to back though,
Yeah, she did hit. She did hit back to back.
unless they counted one of them was a 2.
Unless one of them was a 2, maybe. But I thought
Yeah,
the one she hit was deep.
yeah, they got her at 1 for 11
Yeah.
from 30.
Then she heat checked the top of the key 1-foot runner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So she did not play very well the rest of the game then,
No.
yeah, no.
or didn't
No.
shoot it well at least.
Yeah, they went on a nice run. I forget what quarter it was in, but they cut it to like 3 or 4. I think it was the third quarter.
Yeah.
Then US must have just turned it on at the end.
Yeah, it was almost like whenever it got to about 10, then the US, they put the foot back on the gas and go back up a little bit, and but yeah, so both the men and women 2-0. I think they both already clinched, no matter what happens, a spot in the quarters, I believe. But they both have one more group game before moving on to the quarterfinals and bracket play. So we mentioned a little bit 3-on-3 yesterday. Both the men and the women's 3-on-3 teams are 0-3. So
And that's all pool play though, right? So it really doesn't affect them. It just affects where they're spaced in the brackets.
Wow, if it works like 5-on-5, if you finish last in your group, you don't advance.
Oh, okay.
In 5-on-5, only the top 2 in each group advance, and then like 2 other wild card maybe advance.
Yeah. All right.
So
I have no idea how they advance. So
all right. Well, anything else, guys? We gotta wrap it up here shortly, but
hey, I'll put a little shout out to the USA women's soccer team. I think they 3-0.
I believe so. Yep.
Yep.
I'll give a little shout out to Trinity Rodman, mainly for the fact that obviously she's played extremely well in this Olympics. Daughter of Dennis Rodman, who probably is my favorite player in NBA history.
Yeah.
I've got a huge Dennis Rodman collection of sports memorabilia.
What do you have?
I spent way too much money on Rodman memorabilia. If you didn't know that, and someday hopefully I can display it, but right now it's tucked away in boxes. But shout out to the USA women's soccer team.
Yeah.
I saw Simone Biles won gold in the gymnastics final as well. I think it was like the all around, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how that works, or if it's individual events.
Yeah, there's like 3 different gymnastics categories, and they have team and individual, I think, in all 3 of them. It's a little bit confusing.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she won gold, and then the other girl, Lee, won bronze.
Okay.
So we got 1 and 3 there for women's gymnastics, which is pretty good.
And then Katie Ledecky, she has the most medals, gold medals of any women Olympian of all time.
Yeah, I saw a stat when she's really good at the 1500, which is a very long race.
Yeah.
But she holds like the top 20 fastest times all time, or something like that. It was like the list of top 20, and it was just Ledecky. That's all the way across. And in the gold medal race, she lapped the closest swimmer.
That is unreal.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That is unreal.
Yeah, she's really good.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off about the Dennis Rodman thing, Big Mo, but
Oh, no, that's fine.
a phenomenal video we could do sometime. You get all that stuff unpacked, set it up nice and neat, and we can do a video where we're walking through. You can show it all off, say something special about each item.
Yeah.
What it
I
means.
mean, first of all, like how, I mean, the sequence through his career of how like kind of crazy he got.
Yeah.
It's probably like the story of the memorabilia. Like starts out pretty normal,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, this is pretty weird. Oh, this is really weird, and this is something you shouldn't show anybody. So,
Is it stuff from all the teams that he played for, or is it majority Pistons or Bulls or?
it's probably a little bit of everything.
Okay.
You know,
That's cool.
my favorite. I had two really favorite items: canvas paintings, kind of iconic photos. One of when he's in the Bulls and he's laid out vertical, trying to go grab
Loose
a
ball.
basketball, going out of bounds. Yep.
Yep.
And then I think I had a rebound, one of the one-handed rebounds, Laker canvas prints, paintings. Um,
He's on the Lakers.
Lakers. So I had the Lakers and the Bulls.
Okay.
And they were like huge painted pictures.
That's
and,
cool.
This was a house I used to own 10 years ago. They got stolen out of my house.
No way.
Yeah, along with my Mac desktop computer.
They
Still
stole a
have
computer.
no idea who took him or what happened to him. Came home from school one day. That stuff was gone.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Unreal.
What?
But
They
that
took
was
a
it.
computer and a Dennis Rodman painting.
Yes, and that's all I could ever figure out that they took.
That's unreal.
So if you're out there,
Yeah.
you stole my paintings. I just want the paintings back. Toss the computer. Yeah, you got it, Trent.
Yeah.
Can we get a panorama of you?
I'm gonna have to buy one and throw it up on this back wall.
Hey, that'd be another good video series we could do. The search for Big Mo's
Let's hunt that thing down.
canvases and Mac computer.
I still get on Facebook Marketplace every once in a while and just search Dennis Rodman and see if I see those. And I've never seen those prints again.
Yeah.
Dang.
So somebody out there knows something. Sounds
They
like
knew
a Netflix docuseries.
They knew you, that's for sure.
Yeah, they hunted me down.
They knew you
Did
were
they
at school.
destroy your house?
No, everything looked in place.
Just missing a painting.
Missing two
and a computer
in my iMac or Mac computer.
Wow.
Which was super nice, by the way.
How long ago was that?
That was probably about 13 years ago.
Dang.
I know.
Well, if anyone out there has any leads, you can email us at attacktherack3333@gmail.com. Also, feel free to email us with any comments, concerns you have with the program. We can read any emails on the program. If you have something you'd like us to share, you can be anonymous if you would like. And also, that email is there as well for any potential sponsors out there as well. Let us know.
We're gonna have to start doing like we'll just like pick a sponsor for each day. So it could be like universal remotes from Samsung or something, because they're great.
Big Mo and I on the podcast, we haven't really done it with since the reboot, but we had some pretty good sponsors on the previous version of the podcast.
Yes. If you want a good laugh, go watch the first couple of minutes of some of the podcasts we did, because those were phenomenal. Shout out to those phenomenal sponsors we had back in the
day. There's on the channel, there's a playlist, podcast 2023. And you can, if you want to just get a good little laugh, just watch the beginning of each of those episodes, and you'll see sponsors like water, energy was a sponsor, Christmas trees, etc.
Oh, that's right.
The sun.
Sponsored by Windex.
All right, guys, we're about out of time. We will see. Oh, we're on a 4-day break. We'll see you Tuesday.
Tuesday.